He is a doctor of audiology.
Audiology?
Audiology,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Doc, Michele Gillentine. Do I say that properly?
You did.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can clearly hear you. My headphones are on 11.
11 out of what?
9.
I don't know. I'm not. I could go. I could go much louder. I mean, my headphones are loud, but it's never. I still think I can hear things pretty well. I can hear stuff pretty well.
Well, but so that's great for you, but if somebody else puts your headphones on, is it too loud for them?
Well, I really don't care.
Yeah, really.
They should not be putting my headphones on. I mean, you have to understand, in the world of radio, these are my headphones. I hate anyone touching them.
Yeah,
You know.
and radio headphones are like a mouthpiece.
It's like
in
your
football.
underwear.
It's like your toothbrush. I mean,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it's underwear.
Yeah, or underwear.
You don't want anybody putting on
No.
your
So-
headphones.
Even if they've been washed, I don't want anybody.
Doc,
you know.
what's the difference? So Bill, we do a talk show here, so he's just, it's loud headphones for him, but it's just voices. What's the difference between, what Bill's going through every morning and, music, kids listening to music or having loud headphones for music? Is there a difference?
There is a difference, but part of it is going to be the time that they're listening to it, as well as, are they actually using earbuds or headphones? Headphones are safer, but the rule of thumb is to turn the volume to about 60% of whatever it will be to be a little more protected.
I must say, Doc, I don't mean to contradict you, but the iPhone or the iPod volume cranked all the way is not loud enough. I mean, they just, I think they're trying to protect everybody from a lawsuit. Have you ever put those
Yes,
on?
yes.
You have to crank it all the way to be able to really hear. Don't you?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do agree
you
with
do.
you there. Well, if I'm at the gym, I'm like,
You got to
I
crank
need more.
it.
I need
Yeah,
a little more.
It's not loud enough.
But when that's not loud enough, if the earbud or earphone isn't fitting properly, people tend to turn it up even louder to make up for that extraneous background noise, the gym music and
Right,
things like
that is
that.
true. But you can't turn it up any louder. That's the problem. They have a max, and I think they have that max to prevent someone from suing over going deaf.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But actually, the max in it can actually be lowered. You can go into the settings and do a volume limiter that is down to the 60%. And so you can, to see if it's damaging to your hearing, you can go in and download free sound level apps and see how loud is it. And if it's over 85 dB, it could be damaging to your hearing depending on the amount of time that you're listening to it at that level.
Is there an app that will pump up the volume? Because that's what I would be looking for. It's just
not
not.
gonna
I
tell
sure
you.
hope not.
It's just not loud enough. I'm telling you. Sometimes I push them in closer to my ears so I can hear, because you can't hear all of the intricate sounds of a song unless you're here. I try to explain this to my wife when we're watching a movie. For God's sakes, we spent all this money on this stupid surround sound, and then she won't let me play it.
Right, you need to hear the crickets outside.
You got to hear that stuff. You can't hear all of those little ambient sounds, and the same thing when it comes to a song. I like to be able to sit there, turn that up so you can hear everything, and sometimes if it's down lower, you can't. Like Christine's level, that level is so low, I don't know how you even know if we're on the air.
Because I have really, really sensitive hearing.
So do I think maybe.
In the other direction. Doc, getting back to Andrew's question, if you're listening to, I'm going to say 50 dB, right? Is there a difference as far as damaging the ear if it's a voice talking or if it's a musical instruments and singing? Is there any difference in the damage that can be caused to the ear?
There is not. If it's a flat 50 dB, that's not damaging to anybody's hearing. And it doesn't matter what the sound is. I mean, it could even be a jackhammer. But anything over 85 dB can be damaging to the hearing there again, depending on how long you listen to it.
Okay.
Now let's talk about something that's really damaging. Of course, I've always thought about this, that my big workers' comp case when I finally retire from radio will be, I lost my hearing, and this interview is going to blow it all because you're advising me and I'm ignoring it. So, right, thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
So the fact, though, is that let's talk about something that really can. My son went to a concert with his girlfriend the other day, and he came home and said, I am going to, now this, I was really surprised that he said this, I'm going to start putting cotton in my ears when I go to these concerts. Because he said there was a ringing in his ear
Wow.
for 2 days after the concert. And I've been to a show like that where the volume, and I like loud, but it's so loud, that mid-range is so loud that it literally hurts your eardrums and almost distorts. Like you can't, it's like everything's rumbling around there. You can't hear what's really happening. I mean, why do they have to have it so loud?
Well, I think, I can't speak for the music industry and things like that, but because people like to feel the music, they feel like they're getting more of the experience and things like that.
Yeah, it's
you
rumbling.
brought up a good point of that it seems like the eardrum, ruptured. Well, all sound is vibration, and so that sound hits the eardrum that then moves the 3 little ear bones. They're the tiniest bones in your body. They really are shake, rattle, and roll right there in your ear, and when you get that loud input for so long and you're sustaining, and that's not even that long, that's a couple of hours, maybe a 3-hour concert, then you can cause a temporary threshold shift that when you keep going to concerts and going to concerts, eventually it doesn't come back up. And that your son noticed it and said, hey, I'm going to use cotton. That's awesome.
Well,
but you can use the little foam earplugs. They're not they're not expensive.
Yeah.
If you use them properly, they really can protect your hearing. Then there's also custom fit if you want to be cool, and that you can swirl it red, white, and blue.
Right. You get all this. One of the I'm going to put you on hold just for a second because your line seems to be. I've got it back now. One of the things that I think really hurt his ear was it wasn't the music as much as when people that he was with tried to talk to him, and the music was so loud they couldn't hear each other, so they get up close to the ear and they scream into someone's ear. That is what does.
Do you want popcorn?
Right, and that he said is what really ended up really hurting his ear. I mean that because you're trying to scream over what's already way too loud, right?
Right, and great point. But think about, we talked about 85 dB earlier, but 90 decibels. You can compare that to a train whistle that's 500 feet away. And most people think a train whistle is really loud.
Yeah.
Now, that's a low pitch, and most people in music are trying to hear more of the high pitch to get the fidelity of the music and things like that.
Yeah.
But now you've got all of this music, and yes, and now they're closer to the ear, and they have to be louder than the music. So if the music was 100, 105 or something like that, they're probably yelling at 110 dB, and that can cause hearing loss.
Right. All right, Doc, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Andrew, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
And I recommend you get a hearing test.
All right. Listen, I will get a hearing test, and I'll ace it. Andrew, arrange that for the studio. I'll kill that hearing test.